means we can go ahead and get started. Oh, gosh, that song's so good. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I'm Enviro Boy. It's a Monday, which means right now we're playing Pokemon Yellow. We're going to do it. It's the yellowest of all of the Pokemons. Although some might argue that it's not the only yellow one, depending on how you like to view the concept of gold. Some might put that on the yellow spectrum. Sorry, I'm adjusting my sweatpant legs because I'm getting toasty here with my computer kicking out heat. Not that this is a particularly stressful game for it, but it's like, you know, you're just sitting at a desk, the computer's below it and all that kind of stuff. At any rate, we're picking up right where we left off. We have Pikachu. I'm not going to really bother getting many other Pokemon. I'm pretty sure this one... Yeah, we can find a potion here. Super great on that cuttable thing. There are other Pokemon here that we could catch. To catch everyone up, we started Pokemon Yellow. And as discussed prior, I'm not going to go the full... I'm not going to go the full... like Nuzlocke or Living Dex, Professor Oak version or anything like that. I'm doing my version, kind of I call it a Nuzlocke light, where I kind of take elements of Nuzlocke, but then don't go full in with it. Namely, just giving myself a little more lenience. And since we're doing yellow version, I'm just not gonna bother with doing a whole lot of catching of Pokemon. I'm gonna train up Posey a little bit here. Try and get Posey up to like level 7 or 8, because then there's a Dingleberry battle, as we've named. Critical hit! Don't give me that crap. There's a Dingleberry battle that we can do, as we named our rival. And it's always good to take the trainer battles if you can, because they're one of the best ways to level up. So we'll get Posey up to like level 8 here. Yeah, the way I'm doing the Nuzlocke, too, is it's 3 strikes and you're out with a Pokemon. So I'll keep a little tally. So if any of my Pokemon get knocked out 3 times, then we'll retire them and we'll have to find a replacement. And I know that kind of goes against the whole point of Nuzlocke, but also I just, like, I don't know, man. I don't have anything to prove. I'm just here to have fun. So we'll keep it challenging, just because otherwise it's just kind of, like, the thing about this game... and it's beautiful. It's why it was so popular for us kids, you know, back in the day and everything, and why it's probably still popular for kids, Pokemon in general, is it's a remarkably forgiving game. Like, there aren't lives. You don't have to worry about restarting a level or anything like that. You just get to just play, and if you goof up, you train a little more and you do a little better next time. You know, it's largely a pretty easy game to succeed in. You can fall flat on your face into success in this game. So, you know, we add a little bit of challenge to it, but I don't have any strong desires to make it harder than it needs to be. Just kind of more so to make it so that we don't get complacent and give us a sense of focus. But that's what we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna play, and you can't tell me not to, because you know, I'm the one playing. I get to press the buttons and make the decisions. So, you know, so there. Was again 24 experience points. Gosh darn right. Okay, see, now this is where, like, this is one of the other reasons too that I don't want to do the Nuzlocke, because it makes the whole, like, a purist Nuzlocke. It does make the like leveling process and everything a whole lot more tedious, because it is completely unforgiving. So you have to be so careful. And so by giving us a little bit of leeway, and also by not adhering to that's the other part of the Nuzlocke that I'm not going to do. I'm not going to adhere to you can only capture the first Pokemon you encounter per route. I'm not going to do that, because it really limits the team, which means that you have to be even more on top of the training and everything, because it's like, with that setup, you could end up facing Brock with nothing but an electric and a flying type, right? Like, if you just end up with a couple of Pidgeys, and it's like, you better have your Pokemon all up to like level 20 if you're going to have a chance of even doing damage to that Onix at that point, right? So it's like, we're gonna let ourselves be a little lenient also for the sake of training everyone up to, you know, a reasonable point without having to kill ourselves here. When I'm doing like a pure Nuzlocke run, a lot of times the way I'll balance it is I'll try to get my Pokemon all up to, like, the way I always do it, and this is, I know this is insane, but this is who I am. I'm a completionist. You know this about me. This is what I do with games. But what I would do is whatever the number of the gym is, right, with the exception being the first gym, I would basically do whatever number the gym is times 10. So like with Brock, I would add another 10 to it to get all my Pokemon up to level 20. But then like any other gym, it's like, yeah, I go against Giovanni, all of my Pokemon are at level 80. Like, that's just the level of grinding that I do, and I'm always content to do it. I'm not gonna do that this time. I know that's a little insane. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna try and get all of my Pokemon up to whatever the gym boss that I'm about to face, whatever their highest level Pokemon is. That's what we'll get them up to before we face them. So that way we know it's like level or above playing field, but without grinding and going too insane. So like with Brock, I'm pretty sure Onyx is level 14, so we'll just get everyone up to 14 when we get there, which, if I'm remembering how this works, I do think we're going to end up with, like, I know we at least have Pikachu, but I think they give us, the way they do it in the game, I think they give us Squirtle before we fight Brock, or at least you have the chance to get Squirtle before, so you've got the water. But if we get to a point where, like, if I'm there and it's about time to fight Brock, probably what I'll do, and I don't have Squirtle, probably what I'll do is, there we go, level 8, that's perfect, that's what I'm looking for, so that should be good enough to handle Dingleberry for the next trainer battle. But yeah, if I'm wrong about that, if I'm misremembering and we can't get Squirtle, then I'll probably come back down, because I'm pretty sure where I'm about to go we can catch a Mankey. And we can at least do that in the meantime. I don't, you know, like, I don't have a whole lot of interest in doing, like, strategically changing teams gym per gym. But we can do that to make sure we're ready to deal with Brock. And then after that, we'll pretty much be getting all of our starters, then we'll be good to go, because we'll have like a reasonable type matchup for just about everything. So, because that's the thing, if you have one good type matchup, especially in these earlier Pokemon games before they started getting a bit more interesting and tactical with Pokemon types and how they structure the gyms and everything, with these early ones, it's pretty basic and straightforward. So it's like, as long as you have one good type matchup per, I feel like, is there, oh, Pikachu's happy, look at that, that didn't take long at all. I'm just checking to see that one. I couldn't remember if there was something hidden up there. But yeah, as long as you have one good type matchup at or above the Pokemon, your opponent's level, you're usually pretty good to go. Forgetting you probably don't have any badges. The guard won't let you through. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? They did. I'm pretty sure level 8 is going to be enough for us to handle this battle, unless I'm misremembering it. Yeah, because I remember he always has, like, one flying type, and he always neglects his starter, which is a little sad. Like, he always kind of over trains his flyer, whether it's a Spearow or a Pidgey. Oh man, you can hear, like, just how much insane knowledge I have. I played these games so much as a kid. So much as a kid. Yeah, there we go. We're good to go. Because we're on level playing field now, and we can always beat an Eevee at level playing field. Especially because they do that silly thing where they try to do the non-damaging stuff. Yeah, because, like, Eevee's going to do sand attack, so our accuracy is going to fall. Right? But, like, it's going to take a few times for it to actually be enough for it to make a difference. And even then, like, we've already fallen behind. Right? So it's like, this is why I don't do those in this game. They're just not actually tactical enough. There we go. Good to go. But yeah, my knowledge of these games runs deep. It's old. It's a little dusty up there because it's been a while. But yeah, I've got a. Oh, you just lucked out. Please take my money. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me or my Pokemon anymore. I heard Pokemon League has many tough trainers. I have to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and get a move on. Stupid kid thought he could beat me in a fight. Ridiculous. Get out of here. Didn't even hurt us. Yeah, I forgot that there was a Nidoran this early here too. Not gonna worry about it. Yeah, I'm gonna, in a lot of ways, it does feel really wrong to not be, like, catching every Pokemon. But like I say, the thing is, you know what, I think I started talking about it in the last episode, and then I got distracted because it's so easy for me to get distracted when I'm playing and talking about Pokemon. But I don't want this one to drag on too long. What I've learned from Lego Star Wars, which, like, I've already gotten so close, I'm gonna see it through. But what I've learned is that completionism for this takes forever. Like, for the channel, it takes forever. It's one thing to just make sure you beat every game you play, which I'm still gonna do, because I know it's better for algorithms, and also because everyone's got the attention span of a shrew, that it works better to change games more frequently. But I don't want to do that for my channel. I'm not trying to make a living off of this. So I am going to do what I want to do with it, which is I do want to at least finish every game I start. But I also want to play more than, like, you know, than one game every year in any given slot. I've had my coffee now, and I feel great. Sir, I don't know what you're talking about. I never came to speak to you in the first place. Sure, you can go through. I'm sorry I was so rude to you. You weren't, but okay. I see you're using a Pokedex. I'll show you how to catch Pokemon as my apology. Yep, I needed this. I'm really glad that we're doing this. So we can just kind of sit here and wait for this old man to do stuff while Rattata appeared. Yeah, you're gonna do the exact same thing that I witnessed Professor Oak do. Cool. I needed this. I was gonna be lost without this. Shoot, it was so close too. It didn't work. I must be losing my touch. I've run out of Pokeballs, too. I have to get some at Pokemart. Okay, bye. See your grandpa? Jeez, sorry. When I go shop in Pewter City, I have to take the winding trail in Viridian Forest. Oh, boy. But yeah, like, I've learned from Lego Star Wars that as much as I enjoy that game and playing it and getting a completionist run in that game, when you're doing it in half-hour chunks, it takes forever to get there, like the number of hours we pumped into it. So for the sake of the channel and for the sake of having any amount of variety, these characters, I know she's got little pigtails and is what it's supposed to be, but as a kid, without being able to, like, zoom in, I always thought it was a kid walking with, like, crutches. Like, just with the little sticks that point out there. That's what I always thought it looked like. Just ridiculous, but... After I'm part, get new kinds of Pokemon. Look for other types outside of Viridian Forest. Cool. Do you have anything? Going into Viridian Forest, be careful. It's a natural maze. Naturally, it's a maze. Naturally. It's a natural at being a maze. Ing. Haha. I came here with some friends. They're out for Pokemon fights. I like that this music just kind of sounds factory-esque. You want to battle? Do you have a Pikachu? I do. You can see it. It's right there. It's right there. Lath wants to fight. Lath sent out Nidoran. Sorry, I should be using my my Patrick Warburton narrator voice for those types of things. It's just a fun voice to do. That's the only reason I should do it, is because I enjoy doing it. But, like, that's just it. We all should do things that we enjoy. I know. Try to not tell people what they should and shouldn't do, but I feel like it's fair to say we should all do the things that we like to do. We all deserve it. We all deserve it by being alive and being human. I feel like that's kind of an inalienable right. You have the right to do the things you like to do, as long as they don't hurt other people or inhibit other people from doing what they like to do. That's like the exception. It's like, oh, but I like murdering. No, that's not okay. You can't do that. That's not cool. All right. Gonna finish this one, and then we'll just kind of keep on going up through the forest here. The one thing I won't be doing with this, so with this playthrough, I will be doing a certain amount of grinding. You know, with the limited number of Pokemon I'm going to have, it probably won't be too bad. I hope it won't be too bad. I will do, like, take advantage of fast forwarding and or being able to do stuff without it being like on screen, so to speak, depending on how long it's looking like things are going to take to train Pokemon up. But I'll do a certain amount of grinding, like I say, to get every Pokemon up to the same level. Because what I won't do, I'm not going to do the thing, because I always hated when there was people that would do this, where they would just, like, have whatever their starter was as their first Pokemon always, and they would just only train that one up, and they would basically just, like, keep, like, just, like, beating their head against the brick wall to keep moving forward, and you know, like, so, like, they would basically have to beat everything with their first Pokemon, because all the others would slowly lag behind. But it would also, so, like, anytime they had to go deeper into their roster, they would be way more likely to lose. And so it basically just turned into their first Pokemon in their roster was the only one that was any good. And I'm not gonna do that. I refuse to do that. I hate that. Always hate that. Yeah, you gosh darn right it failed. Don't you shoot your string at me. It's gross, Caterpie. It's just absolutely disgusting. Get out of here. Don't shoot your string at me. I do not consent. Alright, yeah, like, the fun part about doing that, too. You not battle? I ran out of Pokeballs to catch Pokemon with. You should carry extras. Don't tell me what I should do. Yeah, you have Pokemon. Come on, let's battle them. Let's make them fight. So, it is kind of a messed up concept, isn't it? It's like sanctioned dogfighting rings, but, like, with 11-year-olds. It's like really actually kind of morally ambiguous at best. Really kind of questionable when you examine it. But that's why we don't examine it and we just be like, yeah, it's fun. Didn't I hear? So I'm gonna delve into current events a little bit. This one's what date is this one? This one's coming out on the 22nd. So this was a couple weeks ago. But I'm pretty sure I saw something where, like, the Nintendo Corporation, like, filed a patent on summoning creatures for the sake of having them fight. Like, something hyper specific and clearly Pokemon driven, like, clearly trying to find a different way to, like, you know, shut down the whole Pal World copycat thing. Which is, I'm torn about that kind of thing, because on the one hand, like there's a lot of aspects to it. Ultimately, I don't like it. I don't think it's good. Like, they shouldn't outlast the competition by just using their legal team to shut it down. They should outlast their competition by making a better product. You know, the capitalist way and all that kind of stuff. As much as I rag on it, there's a certain degree of, like, well, like, that's how it works nowadays, and that's what you should do nowadays. But even ignoring that, the thing, like, the other thing, kind of on other aspects of it is, in the first place, I do wonder if that is something that would really actually be that effective, because it's like, it's kind of like how there was a case at one point where there was one cookie company wanted to patent a cookie that was crunchy on the outside but soft on the inside, right? They wanted to have like a crunchy edge but then a soft interior, right? And then Oreos came out, and it's like, okay, does an Oreo violate that patent? Because you could describe it as crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, but also clearly was not what the original patent was like going for, which was just kind of like a Chips Ahoy that was like a gooey center with a crispy outside, so that everyone, you know, that way anyone who likes the edge brownie and the center brownie can be happy, right? It was that kind of thing. And so the whole, yeah, absolutely. Posey can learn quick attack. Delete. Of course, we're going to delete an older move to make room for quick attack. Yes. Let's get rid of Growl. Growl and Tail Whip can both ultimately go. But yeah, so it makes me wonder, you know, how impactful on the scene, the gaming scene, that patent is going to be, because like I feel like all it takes is a charismatic enough argument of that why your thing isn't explicitly, you know, summoning a creature for the sake of fighting, right? Like the more words you add to that specific thing, the easier I feel like it becomes to like circumvent it by just changing one of those words. It's like, I didn't summon them for fighting, I summoned them and they can fight, right? Like I don't know how that stuff works. Lawyers are insane, and none of it makes any sense to me. But the other thing about it too that just makes me laugh about it too is just ultimately how insane it all is, right? Like it's such an insane thing that they would try to patent the one thing so no one could try to even make anything similar. It's insane. It's insane. I tend to be less critical of Nintendo than a lot of people tend to be, because at the end of the day, it's all there. At the end of the day, all of them are richer than me, and all of them would do anything they can to control my life in any way they can. So it's kind of like, yeah, are they more or less evil than anyone else? You know, probably not. They're probably right about on par. You know, par for the course with where a lot of other companies and stuff are. But yeah, they did get that patent going, and that is hilarious to me. So amusing to me. The thing that I actually get more grouchy with Nintendo as an entity about is when they try to shut down things like, you know, emulators and stuff as much as they do. It's one thing, it's like, I always feel like it's one thing for a company to want to stop, you know, piracy for the sake of like, oh, we are trying to make money off of this product, and people just taking it for free kind of undercut our business. Oh wait, that's where we came from, right? It's like, on that front, I get it. Right, I get it. It would be, I feel like it's a better approach rather than trying to shut it down, because people always try to do that. The better approach would be to just make it easier for people to afford and purchase it outright. You know, it's like I say, it's why Spotify ends up working so well, because like Spotify understands, as much as people have gripes about how well Spotify does or doesn't pay artists from the consumer end, it does a pretty good job. You know, it's like like you can use it free if you're willing to deal with ads, or at the very least, you know, you can just have your you know, you can just pay your $11 a month and have like all of the extra features and stuff, right? Like they make it real easy, one-stop shop. That's why Netflix was so successful for so long, and why a lot of these streaming services, as their individual things, struggle a lot more, and a lot of them come and go. You know, because they make it harder for people to just watch the shows they like. Because if you have to have like 5 or 6 streaming services, right, everyone's got a capacity of how many they can and want to afford, right? And so you get these limited, so people will have to pick and choose and everything, right? But what I'm driving at here is, like, I get it if a company wants to stop piracy because they're trying to make money and they can't have like a solvent business, you know, if they all of their stuff is being given away for free, right? It's like I get it, you know, if Nike has all of their shoes completely, you know, like if the stitching patterns and the materials are, you know, easy for anyone to gain, and anyone can just make themselves, you know, a pair of Dunks right? Then it's like, yeah, that undercuts their business. So it's like, I understand why they'd want to protect that. Where Nintendo loses me is when they want to get rid of emulators for things like Pokemon Yellow. What platform can I purchase Pokemon Yellow anymore, right? It's like I can still buy a Game Boy cartridge, but it ain't a new one that the profits go to Nintendo. That's not how it's working, right? It's like I'm buying a used copy that all of the profits just go to whatever the used salesman, the used game salesman is, right? Like that's all it is. So, you know, that's the one where they lose me. Like if they want to try and play, you know, patent games about who can make a Pokemon style game, you know, that's for them to figure out. You know, they can do what they want to do, because if they do that but then they don't make a good Pokemon game, sales will slowly decline. And it's like, I know people are frustrated at how slow it takes for Pokemon sales to decline, but the amount of eye rolling and frustration I see when it comes to, you know, Pokemon games nowadays would tell me that definitely they are not the same video game powerhouse they once were. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that, make sure we're up there. I know we didn't need to use that much, but we're gonna do it anyway. Get that potion, baby. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's them filing a patent for me is more of an eye roller, where I'm like, all right, yeah, go ahead and try to do that rather than just try to make a better game that outsells all of those others, you know, rather than taking notes about, oh, why are people interested in this not Pokemon version of Pokemon? They're just like, well, we're just gonna shut it down so that you can't keep, you know, doing it. And it's like, okay, if that's the approach you want to take, you can do whatever you want. That seems like it's more work and more trouble to just sort of set these legal precedents rather than just like making a better product. But hey, you know, I'm not a CEO of these types of things, so maybe that shows how much I know about this. Maybe if I was so smart, I'd have my own video game making company that, you know, made millions. But hey, it's whatever. It's kind of similar too, though, like, so I'm an avid Pokemon card collector. I love collecting cards, and I'm like a legit collector too. I'm not someone like okay, I'm gonna amend that. I don't want to throw shade. People can collect things however they want. People can enjoy things however they want. But it does bother me when people are collectors in like the quote-unquote sense where they only buy like sealed product for the sake of shoving it in their basement for 20 years so that way they can sell it for more later. If that doesn't count as collecting, that's not collecting. That's just ruining a hobby for everyone else. Like, it's not scalping per se, but like, I don't know. It's like if you like to get the PSA graded cards and stuff like that, that's one thing. I have more room for people who like to do that. That's not my concern. I don't care about that. I just like to have the cards because I think they're pretty and I think it's fun to look at them in a binder and all that. But like where I was going with it is like, it would be nice if the Pokemon, you know, the TCG company could do a little more to try and subvert the nature of scalpers and how present they are and how much they're ruining things. And my personal take on it is go ahead and just like, frankly, flood the market. Flood the market with all of the cards. Make reprints. Just absolutely flood the market. So that way people like me that just want to have one of each kind have an easier time doing it. And so that any scalpers that are sitting there that are going to like weigh, right? Because it's like, I went to my local game shop and even they, because it's not just like, it's not really a local one. It's they've got a lot of different locations and everything. But I was looking through their graded stuff and they have like, you know, they have like old school packages. They had one of like the Pokemon Jungle cards, right? But it was priced at like $300 because they weighed it and it was heavy, which means that there's a good foil in there, or a good foil, excuse me. And so it's like, you know, like I understand, but at the same time, it's like, man, that just gets in the way of the rest of us just trying to have fun getting the cards. And so like, I would love it if they would just like flood the market with cards and make it so that they're not a good collector's item as far as investments go, but are still super fun for people to open up packs and, you know, hope you get a rare one. Just make it easier, make the odds better for getting the rare ones. That'll drive down the price and scalpers will move on to something else. But again, I don't own these companies and I don't get to make those decisions. But with all my gripes and my concerns about trying to save the world and everything, the fact is we are at a point now where it's time for me to say thank you so much for joining me. I do love and appreciate every single one of you. We made it to Pewter City today in 2 episodes. That's already pretty good. Heck of a lot faster than I would normally do it because I'm not doing a full-blown dex run or anything, but pro tips here. Just because we ended on the topic, don't be a scalper. Come on, man. That's not cool. It's not cool. You're ruining it. I understand hustle culture, get on that grind set and all that kind of stuff, but man, find a way to do it that doesn't ruin it for honest enjoyers of things. Be a better person than that. I'll call you out on that one. But if you're not a scalper, then you don't have anything to worry about, and you're my friend, and that's great. Okay, anyway, love you. Bye.